Okay, I've done a couple of damsels, three other damsels on my channel, and they're all been a little bit fancy. I've done the twinkle damsel, the blue body damsel, and the light and dark damsel. This is just a plain damsel. I've gone back to basics with this one. So I have a Camazon B175 with a 3.5 tungsten bead. I've run the thread down to where the opposite the barb, just before it starts to bend. Then I brought the thread back a little bit. So it's just plain olive thread. And I'm going to try and make this a little bit plainer than my normal damsels. So here we go. We've got some olive marabou. This is not a dark. This is just a normal olive marabou. And as with all my marabou, I wet it between finger and thumb. Makes it easy to control. And if you notice, I haven't put any lead in this damsel. So a fish, it will fish nearer the surface if you like. So I put a bit of olive on top of the hook. Pinch and loop, just to bring it on top of the hook. And again, I've tried to keep it simple, not too much olive. I'm just going to nip a little bit of that tail off, just to shorten it a little bit. Okay. So it's not going to be totally plain. So what we're going to do is we're just going to add a little bit of pearl into the tail. There we go. And we're just going to put a couple of strands either side. So there we go. We'll just put a couple of strands this side. You don't have to. I'm just adding a little bit of attraction. You don't even need to. But I like to add a couple of strands just to make it more interesting. If you think about it, when the fish are feeding hard on dams, there's loads of damsels in the water, loads of damsel nymphs in the water, and you're just trying to make your damsel stand out a little bit more from all the others, just to induce that take. So there we are, we have a few strands of pearl in there. Now I could make it really plain and put a copper rib in it. I'm not. I'm going to use a pearl rib. You could use copper wire, silver wire. I'm going to use a pearl rib. There we go. Now instead of straggle chenille or anything like that, on this one I'm going to use a dubbed body. So I've got my glue stick. Nothing fancy in my fly tying. A little bit of glue on the thread. And we have SLF, olive SLF. And this is just going back to basics with a basic damsel pattern. And we just twist that onto the thread, the glued thread. Let it just pick it up and then just twist it on. The thread will naturally pick it up. There we go, that should be enough. Wind that on for the body. trying to make this body there we go. Then bring your rib around 3 or 4 turns. Just segments the body, adds a bit of attraction. We've just got a plain olive hackle underneath a thread, pull on top of a hook, couple of turns. You can do this with fingers, or you can use what I'm using, hackle pliers. Hold it up at the same angle as the other loose bit. Cut the coup tags off. I always wet my fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3 half hitches to finish. Okay, and I'd normally fish this on a floating line, slow figure of 8, might even speed it up a little bit. But there you go, that's my basic olive damsel.